Welcome back, beautiful people, to the Rise and Rumble podcast. I am Hector Ornelas, joined here with
Dalton Outlaw.
Yeah. And Dalton, we had an exciting just weekend full of boxing, full of camaraderie, full of just all things that we've been talking about, right? Talking about building community. And for those of y'all, sorry, I'm maybe jumping the gun a little bit, but we're talking about the 2025 Battle of the Badges.
Yes. Twin Cities Battle of the Badges.
There you go, Twin Cities. All right.
Our thing.
Yeah. And that was the first time I was there, and it was amazing. I mean, the vibe there was just great. The people were there. There's lines out the door, which was incredible. Before we kind of get a little bit more deep into that, our producer extraordinaire, Michael Williams, was able to put together a little video package kind of what the event and what the night kind of looked like. So for those who are listening on Spotify, make sure you jump over to our YouTube page at Rise and Rumble. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. So for those of you listening on Spotify, go over to YouTube, catch that video. We'll make sure to upload it. But let's go ahead and roll that.
We stood on our strong foundation of relationship, connection, and purpose, right? The purpose wasn't for us to just go have a boxing event. The purpose for that event was to raise funds for charity and come together as community, as one, and that's what was felt that night.
Again, we'll get everyone out of here safe. We don't want anyone to hurt.
Badges, baby, let's go. With lighting, with sound, we literally created an experience, man. When I say a movie, man, it was beyond that, man.
So as you can see, there's a lot going on, but none of this happens without preparation, without actually, Michael, bring up some of these Rise and Rumble challenges that we had put up a few weeks ago, right? Because I feel like everything that that I did, that you did, that everyone contributed to make this a successful event hit each one of those, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone, the boxers themselves, the volunteers were training hard. Yeah. They were building discipline. I know I was just trying to get everything together from a video perspective, improve your mindset, or our mindset. That could definitely go into just like being excited, getting ready for the mentally day of, ready. Right? Exactly. And then the set boundaries and goals, right? The boundaries, the way I'd interpret that is, you have to set your, if I'm going to do this, I need everybody to be on that same page, right? Set those boundaries, but then goals are important, because none of this happens without first putting those goals on a piece of paper or putting it out to the universe. So explain or talk to us a little bit about how that came about.
Yeah, it took a lot of teamwork, man, and I think that this event was a success on the second year around because of the team effort. Including everybody in this room, but as well as the leadership who helped lead the thing. Eric Clinton, his wife Kayla. Eric Clinton is a good friend of mine. We play football at Concordia College. He is now a firefighter here in St. Paul. And there was these kind of events that go on throughout the country where police, fire, EMS, workers kind of come together to raise funds for a noble cause. And this year it was for a woman dealing with a rare ocular cancer. So we were able to raise money and provide a resource of cash for her as she's dealing with this disease that essentially will kill her, and it's sad to say, but coming together for her felt good. It felt like what we believe in as far as building community, because it wasn't just about one person. It was about us coming together for a cause. Yeah, man, it's an amazing event that we plan to continue to do year after year. It's a lot of preparation. It literally takes us 6 months to a year to really put together. We're really grateful for the Myth live venue and the team over there for allowing us to rent out the facility and transform it into the movie that was created. So a lot of folks got a chance to see that, but it's no substitute for actually being there, as I think you guys can attest to. It's an amazing atmosphere, literally taking folks who have never been into a fight essentially sometimes before, taking them, training them for that moment, for them to go under those lights and to put on a show. And they did that for sure. Man. They put on a show. Some women fighters, firefighters, police, some big guys, some masters who masters, I've said on the podcast before, is like anybody over 35 years old. So we had some people in their 40s, who were throwing hands. But it was an amazing event, and we're grateful to be able to do that. And in the future, I'll have my guy Eric on here to speak about his perspective. But that's my guy, and we've been working on this, for the last few years, and just finally got a chance to kick it off last year. And it's been nothing but uphill for us. We're continuing to move it forward, and this is now an annual thing that people are going to be looking forward to. So very excited about how it turned out, and happy about the cause that we're able to support, and looking forward to next year.
Dude, it was incredible to see folks that I've seen. Like, I know y'all have classes downstairs and stuff like that, and I recognize a lot of the faces, and I knew y'all were kind of gearing up for the Battle of the Badge and stuff like that, but it's always hard to pinpoint, okay, who exactly are the ones, because they came in all sizes, all shapes. And it was good to really kind of see a handful of folks that I've seen them here for the last, I think I've been coming to the Y for the last, since January. And then to finally see them in the ring and being like, oh, wait, that's the dude that's been training. I've seen him jump roping every day, at the YWCA. That's awesome. It was just, again, building discipline, right? Building discipline and building that mindset of, none of these are folks, at least from my understanding, are going to be moving on to professional boxing,
absolutely.
Right? So,
absolutely none of them. That's what's cool about it, right?
So for them to take that time for the last, X amount of months or however long they were training to build that discipline, build that mindset, and really just set those goals and be like, you know what? April 12th, I'm going to be in that ring, win or lose. It doesn't matter, because like you said, we're there for a good cause. Yes. We're there for a charitable cause. Yes. And it's things like that, at least now we're kind of reflecting on that night, that helps me. Because like one thing real quick, I want to say I've been listening to the Bruce Lee podcast. Okay. Bruce Lee's one of my favorite people, but his daughter Shannon Lee and Sharon Lee, they co-host this awesome podcast where they take Bruce Lee's philosophies and they kind of apply to life, similar to kind of what we're doing, right? Yes. Trying to take the boxing philosophies and how do we really apply that to life. But they always start their podcast by saying that this is an applied philosophy podcast, and I really latched onto that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and borrow that for us, because I feel like that's what we're doing, right? We're an applied philosophy podcast. We are here not just to go, chat, but to really try to get those philosophies, interpret them in how applies to our life and how folks out there can use it, right?
Absolutely.
And so those Rise and Rumble challenges that we've established from the get-go, which are only, the beginning, right? There's many, many, many goals and other things that we want to explore. But man, again, it really does seeing those folks, those EMS and firefighters and all, I feel like there's police officers right in there too, right? And then see them go in the ring really helped me. Just like, what am I doing? Not saying that I'm slacking. And we're all carrying our weight. Yeah, we're all putting in our work, right? But it's like it's moments like that really help me just continue to fuel my passion and my drive to be like, you know what? Folks are out there doing things. Let's go out and do things, right? What's that you all in Slink are always saying, stay ready so you can be ready, right?
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
So I'm curious, who initially came up with the concept of Battle of the Badges?
So it's been going on for many years. There's like a lot of things on the national scene that happens. Like they have this white collar boxing, which is another thing they do out in New York, where like a lot of the executive pros, like professionals will go to a boxing gym, train, and then fight each other on an event. But there was actually in Minnesota, Minneapolis used to host a similar event. Before one of the boxing gyms closed down. And then the firefighters and the police and kept asking like, hey, when is that thing coming back? And the leadership who was organizing kind of went away from it. And myself and Eric had approached the team and was like, hey, like, we want to reenact this thing, get it going, reactivate it. But it got crickets like, hey, just, we're not so much putting energy towards this or what have you. So me and Eric, we sat down, we put the concept together to just continue it ourselves and continue the great cause and put it together on our own on this side of town in St. Paul, and just keep that energy going because the police fire, they still wanted to do something. So rather than continuing to allow them to be handcuffed, let's continue to move forward progress and make an awesome event happen on our terms. So this is by far, I'd say, better, more developed, more polished event nowadays. Than the other one before. It was just at a gym. This one is at a venue, a historic venue with great energy, with lighting, with sound. We literally created an experience, man. When I say a movie, man, it was beyond that. Like this is, I talk about going to big fights in Vegas. We didn't have the Vegas crowd, but we had the Vegas energy.
I've never been to a Vegas energy. I've never been to a Vegas event, but I can definitely feel that. I mean, my favorite part was so I was handling video production, and we had a live feed of the camera showing on the projectors, and folks were vibing, folks were dancing, and we made sure, like, I was talking to my camera guy, I was like, I need a shot of those folks. And as soon as they saw themselves on that screen, they're like, yeah. Like, so being able to create that or be a part of that was just amazing, man. Yes. The other thing I wanted to ask was, so at what point did, because if I remember correctly, Slink Proper Promotions, that's still fairly new, right?
Brand new.
Okay, so how did he get involved once? Because I feel like, and I do want to actually touch upon not just Proper Promotions, but everybody, like the sponsors and stuff that were involved, but specifically Proper Promotions. How did they get involved, and kind of what was their role in setting this stage for a movie?
Yeah, for sure. And Proper Promotions still, of course, brand new. The goal was to get Slink and his new promotions off the ground on that platform to be able to do what we call a professional amateur fight. So a combination of having the police, fire, EMS on the event, as well as a professional boxing fight to headline as a unique way to kind of cross the boxing worlds together, along with the charity and the fundraiser and all that kind of stuff. But it didn't work out, man. Professional boxing shows are very, very tough to put on. But it was still a success, even from Slink's standpoint. Slink is a phenomenal individual, has a lot of great connections in the community, still stands by boxing, still is a boxer himself, as well as a coach and an advocate for the sport. So him still being there, being involved with every other part of the event as far as setup, teardown, curating energy, like he was there in spirit, him and his team, and that also made the event exciting still, even though he wasn't fighting in the event. His spirit and energy still carried through the night.
Most definitely. I try to catch him on camera every so often because he'd be walking the floor, but he's a little too quick for us. He's sitting there, doing his thing.
That's our guy.
Yeah, no, like I feel like everybody that was involved, or even just all the volunteer boxers, man.
Yeah.
You see them in the back, and I see them some of them are a little nervous or whatever,
Absolutely.
but for the most
Comes
part,
with the
though,
territory.
well, I mean, if you're about to get hit, or if you're going to hit, you expect to be hit,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But it was really cool to see them once they were done with their fight. Now they were able to relax and kind of just chill for a bit and really enjoy essentially what they helped build, right? I mean, we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for them. But essentially putting their bodies in that ring and being able to provide that, for the most part, entertainment.
Absolutely,
right?
man. And I'm just so proud of every single one of those individuals that step into that ring, because even as a competitive boxer, that's a difficult thing, you know? So being able to go inside of that ring in front of hundreds of people, man, in front of your family members, and potentially get embarrassed or get hurt, like that's a big risk, man. And to do it for a cause bigger than themselves is truly commendable. So shout out to all the police, fire, EMS workers who put it on the line at work and also for recreation for a charity event. So shout out to all of those guys and all the coaches who also helped train those guys, you know, because it's a team effort. Like I wasn't training all the coaches. I was around and supportive, but we had Coach Phil, we had Coach Alfredo, we had Eric, Coach Michael was there. A few other gyms helped support. I think over in Ludi's gym, they had some guys. St. Cloud Boxing Club had a couple guys that they supported. So yeah, extremely grateful for the whole setup, man. That the police, fire, EMS, all of the USA boxing officials. We had 3 doctors that were there supporting the event. Bobby Brunette, longtime boxing a referee, family owned the boxing gym for many years. Mark Nelson, world-renowned Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame referee Mark Nelson. This guy, literally, was there reffing the fights. And you probably see him on HBO and Showtime. Well, not those 2 platforms anymore, but let's call it The Zone, next week. Both of those platforms are gone. The Zone and, some of the other Amazon HBO stuff. I mean, not HBO, but pay-per-view stuff nowadays. So grateful for him and all the folks, all the volunteers that came and helped out. Man, I'm still floating from the experience. And like I said, it takes a team effort that I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. The DJ, DJ Envy, Adrian Perryman, good friend of mine, Glorious Martin, the MC. I can't say enough about this dude. Come on. I don't want to ever do a boxing event without Glow. That's my brother. That's my guy.
That ring was his
and he
stage.
kills it. He kills it every single time. His knowledge, his energy, and just, his belief and support in the sport of boxing, man, has been going on for years. We go back, and he's an amazing individual. So it was no surprise to me that, he lit it up, but he did it in a great way.
He did, all right. He did. Especially when one of his jams came on, when DJ Envy's like, he's like, that's what's up. And then
the karaoke, he went karaoke mode, and everybody was loving it. Some folks from the gym and class were like, man, the karaoke from the MC, oh, come on. They were loving it. So amazing energy through the entire night. Everybody, had good energy. We were all there in good spirit, man, and, for a good thing.
Big shout out to Ken Anderson and Anastasia from the Academy of Professional Wrestling.
Who was also a sponsor and support of the event. Grateful for them to be there. My guy Hayes, Carl Hayes, man, who, tore it up on the grill.
That's
the grill
right.
master. Don't sleep on Hayes.
Halfway through the event, Michael's like, here, have this burger. I was like, where did this come from? It's like, you need to eat. So thanks for looking out, Michael, because I get caught up in these events and suddenly I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry.
Yes. So very grateful, man. Some of the other volunteers, Brittany Baker with also the St. Paul Fire. She's a fire chief, so she was there in spirit and energy supporting all the families that came out. My own family, my wife Lacey, her mother came out with the kids, and everybody had a blast. And I'm still literally I'm looking through it in my brain man, this is so great. And it was such a phenomenal event, and I can't wait to do it again. There's buzz of even potentially more of similar type events that maybe just don't include police and fire, but even we've been in talks with some folks in the military and doing something similar like that. So the stage has been set. we have the formula, so why not continue to do good? And that's what we're about here at Element Gym. That's what we're about, building around purpose for people, and helping people get a chance to experience boxing in our form that we love so much. So grateful to be in the position to have the opportunity to execute on something so amazing.
Yeah, no, it was quite incredible. So the cameraman that usually works with me, at the end of the night, he goes, "This is completely different from wrestling, completely." And not to take anything away from my from my wrestling peeps over there. Like, we love wrestling. I've been doing wrestling, professional wrestling, for like over 4 years now, and it's always a great crowd. It's fun, but it's different. It's especially when you have the nightclub vibe, you have the music, you got the MC that's out there karaokeing, and like I said, just everything kind of
car girls. Come on, right? Can't forget about the ladies.
Exactly. Just everything came together to, like, kind of what you said. Just create a vibe where when people leave that venue or that event, they leave with an experience.
Yes.
Right. And that's more than anything, that's what people are going to take away with them, right? Is their overall experience on that. And I think for me personally, it was the first boxing event that I got to produce from a video production perspective. So that was super awesome because I told you straight, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to do it anyways, right? Let's get it done. And
you did it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I'm definitely looking forward to next year for the Battle of Badges. But also, okay, what you said, okay, what stage did we just set that we're going to be able to do other things, whether it's military or any local boxing events and stuff like that. It's just, it really, everything that we've been talking about for the last few months, or at least on the podcast, again, it all kind of came together. All the different disciplines, all the different mindsets, all the different things that we've been talking about manifested themselves in a way where it's inspiring in many ways. And it really makes me think, like, okay, if we were able to do this with the capabilities, the resources, whatever, like, imagine what else we can do when the foundation's already set.
Absolutely.
And that's the part that I'm just like, okay, that's what I'm looking forward to, right? And I feel like that's a lot with boxing or in life, right? You set those bricks, you lay those bricks down in order for you to continue to keep building and keep building and keep building.
Absolutely.
And if that foundation is weak for whatever reason, then there's not a whole lot for you to stand on, right?
Agreed, man. And what we did was we stood on our strong foundation of relationship, connection, and purpose, right? The purpose wasn't for us to just go have a boxing event. The purpose for that event was to raise funds for charity and come together as community, as one, and that's what was felt that night. I'm very extremely proud and excited for what's to come. But at the end of the day, what came down to is good people doing a cool thing and taking action. Right? Taking action. That's our mantra, man. And we stand by that. Like, nothing's done if you don't take action. So we could have sat here on the podcast. We could have sat in the back room and, in the office and be like, man, this is cool ideas. It'd be cool if we put the police and the fire and then we put the nightlife in and we just, make sure everybody has a good time and, put the ring car girls and they bring energy and all that kind of stuff. And if it just stays an idea and we never take action, it goes nowhere, absolutely nowhere. And, I'm grateful that we practice what we preach, right? We're not telling people out there to take action and not taking action ourselves. So I'm extremely proud to have accomplished this with not just myself, but with our team. Like, yourself being there for the first time, Michael Williams holding it down like he always does. Everybody who helped contribute to the event, man, were a part of something special, and that experience was gifted to any individual who was a part of it and as well who experienced it. And that's extremely valuable, man. Right now, I think people are looking for something to connect to and need something to get their head out of everything going on around them, man. And I think that we helped in more ways than I believe that we even know. And I'm grateful. And as I say, man, I'm grateful and I'm still elevated from that event. And I'm still floating, man.
Most definitely. Well, I'm still going back and, finishing up the videos and stuff like that from the, we had 10 matches, 10 matches, which, made for a long night, but, looking back on it, like, it flew by. Yes. It really did. And so I do want to tell folks that if you go to the Element Gym YouTube page. We're going to have those fights ready to go. So if you were involved or participated in that, you can go ahead and watch that. Or if you're just curious about what the event looked like, you can go to the YouTube page. I believe it's just Element Gym. Maybe you type in Minnesota and the MN just to kind of narrow down the search a little bit. But make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go to the Rise and Rumble podcast too to subscribe on that as well, and so you can keep up on all the latest content that we're going to be producing here. And we have much more to go. We have a bunch of guests lined up, which I'm not going to give away just yet, but we have some exciting guests that are going to come out. And yeah, at the end of the day, just super blessed. You speaking of community again, big shout out to the YWCA here, the Element Gym, everybody, and. Yeah, like you said, man, I'm still riding a little high here, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready. Like this makes me just want to go back, finish up that video, put it onto the universe so people can watch it, and so that they can at least feel something, or at least kind of capture the moment that in a way that Michael Williams' video did. You kind of capture that moment in time. But also inspire folks to either get involved with the Element Gym, with the YWCA, or just get involved in anything that makes you feel that, right? Absolutely. It gives you that inspiration. It doesn't have to be boxing. It doesn't have to be whatever. Like, you find your own way, your own path, and exciting things and great things will happen.
Absolutely. And we as a team, man, as individuals, we are going to continue to take action, man. We have some awesome things upcoming. One of the dope things we have going, man, here in partnership with the YWCA, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary to date. So I'm very proud and excited about that. Yes. Thank you, man. It's been an amazing journey. We learned a lot through the first year. I'm grateful for all of the YWCA St. Paul staff and their leadership. Ashley Booker, Cynthia, Patricia, everybody who's been here, all the amazing women, who helped lead this thing, and the fellas as well. We're here doing some things, but I'm so grateful to be in this position to partner with such a amazing organization, and we're working on this cool concept, man, called the Punchathon Challenge, man, and it's amazing. And I'm gonna go in a little bit of detail, but stay tuned for dates because this is gonna be a one of a kind thing. I don't think it's ever been done before, but even if it has, we're gonna do it better, like we always do. So the Punchathon is essentially a punching challenge where we're going to use gloves and a punching bag to raise funds for critical resources here with the YWCA St. Paul. There's a lot of individuals who are at risk of losing housing and resources because of all the craziness going on. So we were going to continue to fight through using the platform of boxing like we did with Battle of the Badges to raise funds for these families here at the YWCA St. Paul. Every punch equals $1, but we're kicking this thing off May 15th. You hear that? May 15th. We're going to kick off with a 24-hour punchathon. Like, it's going to be 24 hours to kick it off. It's a 30-day event where people can get involved, but the kickoff is going to be amazing because we're going to live stream a 24-hour nonstop punching of a bag to help build awareness to what we're doing here, man.
I'll tell you this much. I don't think I've ever heard anything about that.
Right, that's crazy. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Our teams are fired up. We're on the back end getting a lot of the logistics work put together. But this is the first time it's really been publicly spoke on, but there's more details to come. So if you're following our Rise and Rumble and Element Gym, also follow YWCA St. Paul to stay tuned with everything we have going on, because this is going to be epic, man. It's going to be live streamed. We're going to be calling on people to come. We'll have some of our folks who potentially are interview, maybe folks who are going to come interview, like come do some punching with us. So we'll be requesting that more fans of the Rise and Rumble podcast and more Element community and YWCA community come on down when we do this 24-hour kickoff. Nice. But there'll be many more ways to get involved, but I had to let everybody know, man, this is in the works and it's happening real soon.
What better way to get involved, to raise money also, but than to punch things,
yes,
right? Like,
absolutely,
I mean, who doesn't like
man.
to punch things? I ain't gonna lie. I was feeling a little frustrated this morning. I could have helped, or I would have been helped if I had something to punch. But that's awesome. That's amazing to hear. And like Dalton said, make sure you follow us on the socials, both Rise and Rumble, Element Gym, and YWCA on Facebook, YouTube, all the social platforms there. But till then, I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day, and we'll see all you beautiful people next time with a special guest. Till then, big shout out to Michael Williams, Dalton Outlaw, I'm Hector Ornelas, YWCA, and remember to continue to rise, rumble, and take action.
Let's go.